However, the causes of suffering can also bring about the opposite of inspiration. We should perhaps look into just what is the opposite of inspiration. What is the opposite of being inspired? We actually have a word, of course, and that word is dispirited. And as you can see, the word essentially literally means to be without spirit. This is a little bit different than the word which you may have been thinking, which is uninspired. And one may think that uninspired is a better antonym for the word inspired. After all, uninspired seems to be more of a direct opposite of being inspired. You are either inspired or uninspired. But inspired as an adjective, as a descriptive of your present state of being, simply means that you are either receiving inspiration or not receiving inspiration. What our focus here today is the state of being dispirited, which is very different from simply being uninspired. Something can be uninspired, and sure, it is what it is. But that's very different from someone who has been dispirited. And it is this discrepancy or this difference, which you may think this is just semantics or linguistics or any number of things which you might find uninteresting or irrelevant. But to be dispirited is directly related to the word, if one is evolved, to be devolved is more than just not being evolved. This is why the Alm of Life is such an important way to comprehend the path, because the Alm of Life states, and by its very nature, we have a double spiral here. And the Alm of Life states that if you are not on the upward spiral of evolution, then you are on the downward spiral of devolution. You see, this is very different than saying you're existing on a flat line, uninspired. You're existing with the absence of inspiration. Dispirited is more dire a state than having the absence of inspiration, which is what uninspired is. Devoid of inspiration. But uninspired says nothing about devolution. It simply says it's not inspired. But to not be in spirit, which is the true meaning of inspired, to be in spirit, the opposite of in spirit is dispirited. It is not simply an absence of spirit. It is its opposite in the way that devolved is more than just not evolved. Devolved is the opposite, going in the wrong direction, in the other direction. And this is according to the law of opposites, because so many phenomenon that we encounter has this dual potential. The same kitchen knife that you use to prepare a meal that is given in love and that unites individuals to break bread, to come together, that same kitchen knife can be used as a weapon to divide and conquer, to shed blood, to create animosity, and to create enemies among former friends. Or that knife, again, can be used to host a gathering and a meal and to heal divides and heal wounds and make friends of former enemies. It's still just a knife. It's still just a tool. It is an object that has certain characteristics of action in the world. And so too, suffering cuts like a knife, does it not? When we feel it, it hurts. There's no question. But what does that hurt bring about? The last few weeks, we have looked at a certain perspective, a positive perspective. And the perspective from the path of the Bodhisattva, the perspective of healing and growth, the death of the false self, and the development, the transmutation, the transformation of that pain, of that suffering, of that hurt, into something greater than, into something which can exist beyond the reach of suffering itself, and the creation of that which can endure suffering with equanimity, with peace, as opposed to the reactive, pain-filled suffering that we mortals endure when we face the causes of suffering.